So I'm making this recording while descending down a hill from the beauty spot overlooking Erwin, Tennessee. It's very quiet out here, so that's part of the motivation for doing this now. I just wanted to recognize some special trail angels that have helped along this journey so far, starting with Steve Lefferts. I know Steve from the motorcycle camping group on MeWe. He's kind of the co-creator of the group. He wouldn't say that, but I consider him a co-creator, and special thanks to him for giving me a ride from the end of the line of the MARTA system in North Springs over to the next trail angel, Kent Littig, and his wife Donna. They hosted me that night. I think it was March 31st, and just really treated me to kind hospitality, and they very kindly drove me a long way up to Amicalola Falls from their home the next morning, April 1st. So that was a giant help on their part. Then further up the trail, at the Hogpen Gap road crossing, Dee Whittington and his wife, or girlfriend I should say, Maria, picked me up and took me in for the night, and it turned into 2 nights as I spent day 2 sampling ice cream, actually scooping ice cream and making some ice cream. So Dee and Maria taught me a little bit about the ice cream business, and of course I made a spoof video that a homeless Texan on the Appalachian Trail scoops ice cream for free ice cream. Anyhow, I really appreciate Dee and Maria's hospitality, and hope I was a help when I worked in the ice cream store. The next pair of trail angels was high school friends Chuck Cloudis and Debbie Trotter Oates. Chuck asked me on Facebook what I'd like to be eating, and I replied in jest that I would like a bacon cheeseburger. Lo and behold, Chuck and Debbie met me at Unicoi Gap and brought not only a bacon cheeseburger, but a salmon burger and all the fixins. After our tailgate feast, we hiked up the north side of Unicoi Gap, up a very steep hill, and finally reached a camping spot where I could hang my hammock. And I did so just to show Chuck and Debbie what it's like to hang a hammock. And
we are gone with the wind.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate everything.
See you, man.
These are the best trail angels.
Nantahala.
All right.
We just have supper together. There's a fine restaurant on the river.
Okay, there goes Chuck and Debbie. When I got to I-40, Andy and Deborah Goss met me. They drove all the way from Asheville, and I spent the day at their house. They drove me around to Outfitters to try to find a new hip belt for my backpack. So we went to 2 different outfitters with no luck, and then we drove to 2 grocery stores to help me get resupplied. And the next day I helped Andy with a little landscaping project. We had to get rid of some roots that were pushing the rocks up at his at the entry to his home. So I hope that was helpful to Andy to have my just my muscle to move those rocks. Between the two of us, we did a pretty good job on that, in my opinion. And so Andy and Deborah brought me back to the trail, and so that's where I am making videos right now. And I just wanted to thank all these people for